that you paid for, all the skip turns that you saved for, all the nights you fell asleep without your gun. A coronation, a beheading, from the funeral to the wedding. Do you think they care where the crown goes? Ooh, 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 show the crowd you're happy, like a movie, like a movie. What's your story? What's the refund policy? We want violence, we want blood, we want superhero love, we want all the answers that you promised us. We want laughter, we want pain, everyone will know our name. Did you know that no two mistakes?
Hello, Beans. How's it going? Thank you for keeping my pickle moist, Shawnee. I appreciate you and the work that you do. Hi, Graham. I will do a stretchy. I've got weird soreness. Hi, Jen. Good to see you. Hi, Red Shirt. Good to see you, too.
Oh my god, why can't you just take the freaking compliment?
Hydrate, taking a sippy. Could I stand to turn that light up more? Is this a good level of brightness for you guys? It looks a little dark today, but that's because the sun is not really up. Something nice about myself. Excellent. Definitely enjoy your nap. I appreciate the pop-in for sure. And I hope you have a good nap. Something nice about myself is I'm very kind to customer service workers. How about that? Because I had a experience with a FedEx employee yesterday, and like halfway through the 45-minute standing to try and figure stuff out, he just like kind of stopped and looked at me for a second and was like, "Thank you for being so patient with me." And I was like, "Thank you for being so patient with me. I'm aware that this is like a difficult conundrum that I'm making you deal with in the middle of rush season. So like, thanks for putting up with me." I also made sure, like, it took a lot of work, but I did find the form to fill out for, like, the customer service stuff. So I did make sure to fill that out and say that he specifically did a good job. I made sure to get his name and everything, so. That's fair, Jen. You know what? And let's be real, this little bit, like, right before actual Christmas is, like, fuck off time, and should be. Like, nobody's really in it, you know? Like, we're all tired and we're done with the year, you know? Hi, Stars. Good to see you. Speaking of, I think we're gonna finish this really fast today. I don't think there's a lot left to do on it. And then we're just gonna kind of sit here and shoot the shit for a while, I think. Yay, that's great, Jen. I hope everybody enjoys their break if you get one. I mean, not all of us do, or some of us, you know, don't have work that kind of way, but I hope people enjoy the breaks that they get, or at least have some good stuff in the coming days. Do I have anything else to say? I don't know that I do. You guys might hear my fingers popping more. We've had a bunch more pressure shifts, so my joints are all mad at me. Theoretically, the pressure's going back down tonight, which will make my life easier, but will make my brother's life worse. He does better when the pressure is going up, and I do better when the pressure is going down. Which I guess works out because then one of us is vaguely functional, right? I did do the grim self-care tasks. Thank you for checking. And I am less in the pit than I was before, so that's progress. Yeah. Thank you. I do also have some tea today. This is Robo's Nutcracker. So I'm not expecting to like it very well because it has hazelnut flavor in it, and I don't like hazelnut. So I'm remembering why I wasn't going to get the decaf version of this year, and it's because I don't like the majority of the teas that they put in it. So too bad I didn't get a say in that. That's not entirely fair. I could have like bullied my brother for one of the other advent calendars, but I might as well do this. I'm not great with a lot of caffeine anyway, so. Yeah, that's not my favorite, but it'll do. What else do I have to say? I don't know. This is our last regular stream. I did say last time that I thought I wasn't going to be streaming on the 24th, but turns out that I actually can. The plans that I thought I had, I do not have. So I will be streaming on Christmas Eve, and that will be our last stream of the year. I won't be coming back until January. I do think I will also mention this up front, and I will mention it again and all that kind of stuff. I think our next stream for the new year is, I mean, for sure it's going to be Friday the 3rd, but I think not Friday the 3rd. That's not what I mean because I'm not back then. But I think it's going to be Monday the 6th. I think I'm going to commit to changing the schedule and start streaming on Monday afternoons instead of Tuesday afternoons. So I think I'm going to start a little before Stars ends is my plan. And then if I do it that way, if Rainbow's schedule stays the same once she's plopped into her new location, I'll be able to raid her. But her schedule is probably going to change since she's also changing time zones, so we'll see about that. But I think it will be better for me to do on Mondays instead of on Tuesdays. So we'll test that out and see what we think. But I am going to leave the schedule blank until I get back, pretty much. I'm going to just delete those. Even though I know there's a vacation mode, I'm just going to delete them, and then we'll go back to the new schedule. Once I get back, I can set that up. So yeah, Christmas Eve, and then I will see you after New Year's. That's pretty much, that's the long and short of it. But one of the things about moving stream to a Monday is that most of the modeling classes are on Mondays, Wednesdays. So that might change things a little bit. I'll have to, I think as much as I hate doing this, I'm going to play it by ear a little bit. I feel a lot better canceling stream to go to my job where I get paid a lot more than I do canceling stream because I'm like, I have something else that I want to do that doesn't pay me, if that makes sense, because streaming is part of my job, right? So if I'm canceling stream to do a different job, that in my head makes it more worth it. And I know that nobody else is like putting this pressure on me. This is purely a me dealing with my mind thing, so don't worry about that. I'm never worried about canceling streams. I've just realized a pattern in myself that I would rather not continue. So that's why I'm thinking about changing the schedule like that. Because I do get paid in an hour of doing the modeling job about what I get a month from Twitch. So canceling a stream to go get paid 3 times as much in the same amount of time as a single stream just makes more sense. So, yeah. I also don't really have a plan for what we're going to do Christmas Eve fully. I am going to want to do my nails before I travel, which would be Christmas Eve or on Christmas Eve day or on Christmas Day because we're leaving in the afternoon. Hi, Wiggle. Good to see you. So I might do my nails on stream. It's just I already know what I want to do for my nails, and it's just going to be nail wraps, like the sticker kind, so it's not going to take a super long time. And hi, Shani. I also need to set up my habit tracker in my journal for 2 weeks since I'm going to be gone. I don't want to bring my like stencils and stuff with me. So I want to get that set up, including the January month, and I need to set up next year's journal, January, so that I can, my plan is to use my journal that I have been using since like July or something, and while I'm gone, and then when I get back, I'm going to switch to a new journal. Because I'm running out of pages in the other one, right? So I just need to move that over. But I think getting that set up before I leave is a good idea. So we might do like nails and like a habit tracker and just chatting and chilling kind of vibe. But we'll see if I get anxious and crazy and decide to do the habit tracker to try and keep my brain congealed into one mass. Because one of the ways that I do that is making a lot of lists and pretending like I'm organized on paper when I feel like my brain is especially messy. So that might also be a good thing to do like right before I travel. I don't know. We'll see. We'll do something. Don't worry about it. But I'll be here. We could also listen to Christmas music, but I think I'm not going to do that because ACS does have some Christmas music. And they let you play their music with credit, which I do anyway. So... But I don't know, maybe we don't really want to do Christmas music. Maybe we just want to like hang out and chill, you know? I don't know. If anybody has like strong opinions on anything I've said, please feel free to voice them. Even if you don't have a strong opinion, you should feel free to voice. This is just me rambling, mostly. I also am not bringing any physical art supplies with me when I travel. I've decided that it's just going to stress me out more and make me feel bad when I don't have the mental energy to do that. So that's so fair, Jen. I fell off of it for a long while, and then I started back up because of Joy's Discord, because I knew that if I started back up, I would be really consistent and it would help other people stay in. That's so fair, Wiggle. And I've found mostly the habit tracking is letting me, at this point in time, is one, letting me know when I'm falling off of certain things that are good for me and whether falling off of those is because of my mental health or if falling off of those causes worse mental health. And like obviously those two things play off of each other, but trying to figure out like patterns of where stuff is going, and that's been especially important in the last week because I've been going through a brain time, y'all. So I mentioned I'm doing better today, but I mentioned on Tumblr that I'd had like really bad nightmares and I like woke up with a stress rash, and I think perhaps my level of stress has re-irritated the ulcer I've been forming in my stomach for a while, and we're doing better today. It's not as bad, but like there was a lot all at once to deal with, and most of that was just coming from my brain, but hoya. And like I mentioned, I'm traveling. This traveling situation is not a vacation. It's going to be stressful. So yeah, it's just like a lot. Oh yeah, I got you, Jen. I'm glad you've been doing better. I know you said that you were like, when we were talking the other day, that you were like the one person not going through it, which I'm glad for. My often when I'm having a really bad mental health day, I'll make a post on like Tumblr or something, or message random friends and make them tell me what went well with their day. Because like my concept is if somebody had a good day, then it was worth living through. Even if I had like the worst day that I've ever dealt with, if me staying here didn't make that person's day worse, like then we're fine. That was the whole point. And that is maybe not exactly the healthiest way to deal with stuff, but it works for me. So I know that I will feel better after I come back from the trip. But up to that is stress. And I don't know. Again, with this bitch is not neurotypical. Really don't do well when my routines are disrupted, which traveling only involves routines being disrupted. Like that's all traveling is no routines. It gives me less control over my environment. It gives me less control over when I eat. It gives me less control over my stimulation level. So it's like dealing with that on top of anything else is already like a lot for me to deal with, and like fills up my stressor bucket lots higher so that I like get to overwhelm faster. But then in addition to that, there's a whole bunch of other emotional stuff that I have to deal with this specific trip and with just like family time in general. So it's always difficult. But we've made it through worse, so we can do it. That's one of the things about 2022 and 2023, honestly, was like if I made it through that 100% sober, I can do anything. Like, we're fine. This is easy mode, honestly. And like, yes, sometimes I still get stressed out and whatever, but I went through being like newly sober, having my best friend die unexpectedly, and then having my mom die within like a 9-month period. And I stayed sober the whole time. And I didn't hurt myself, and I didn't do anything bad to myself, and we made it through. So if I did that, like, the rest of this is just whatever, you know? It's fine. Sometimes you just gotta put things in perspective, you know? Go Streamer Chan. Okay. I really think pretty much the last bit of this, I need to color the clear exoskeleton here a little bit, which I was using like a greenish gray. I don't really think I need to, maybe I want to deepen the shadows a little bit now that this layer has fully dried, because we were just kind of messing with it a little bit last time. And then cover it with gold, and then I think we just have to do highlights in white on the magnifying glass, and I think I'm going to do a tiny little one on the paperclip. Thank you, Wiggle. Yeah, it definitely wasn't easy, but I did it. I will say that I watched Howl's Moving Castle on repeat for maybe a solid 4 months, and that was the only thing that I watched, because that was like a comfort movie for me. Actually, you know what? I think I've only watched Howl's Moving Castle once this year. That's a sign. I don't know. Sometimes you just have to watch your comfort media repeatedly because your brain can't handle anything else. And last year, one of my New Year's resolution, quote unquote, like I've said before, I don't do resolutions the way that most people do them, but was to just consume more new media. And so like for 2023. And so I didn't rewatch as much stuff in general. I read more books and that kind of stuff, but my comfort media has definitely shifted a bit. Because I did rewatch a lot of stuff this year, but I kept mixing it up. So I've been rewatching through all of Defunct Land. That's what I've been doing lately. That and Murder Maps, which is a documentary TV series about sensationalized murder stories in London, basically. Well, in the UK. Hi, Al! Oh, I haven't watched Treasure Planet since I was a kid, I think. I should really watch that again. Yeah, I've been watching through like the old stuff. So I just finished season 1 yesterday and started season 2. And it was really funny in season 1 to hear Kevin say, I don't like to make these videos more than 14 minutes. That's changed a little bit. But yeah. It's like Kevin of 9 years ago could not comprehend what was going to happen. Which, like, fair. Do any of us know what's going to happen? No. I will say that I need to finish my art versus artist for this year. I have like a list started, but oh, I see. Those are all 5s. I get it. Okay. My brain decided that story was actually an S instead of a 5, and I was like, well, where's the 4th one? It's right there. My brain just auto-corrected it. What else did I watch a lot this year? I rewatched BBC Ghosts like about 6 million times. That's also a thing. I have been like paying for fewer streaming services too. So really I only have Amazon Prime right now, which is because I like to screw them over with shipping to Alaska, and it's like comes free with the rest of that, so. I really didn't put a line right there either, even though there should be one. I'm just gonna do this. Oh, I also got my, everything does a wrapped now, right? So like any social media platform that's actually just collecting your information gives you a little wrap up at the end of the year. So that you can pretend like they aren't just spying on you and it's for funsies. Oh, I also need to deepen up the eyes. That's the other thing I need to do. But it's really funny because for my, I forget what every place calls it, my Steam replay, do they call it replay? You can see like exactly when I got a boyfriend, and it's really funny to me because I stopped playing as many games. There's like, so like January has and February has like the most amount. Hi, Kale. Good to see you. I know you don't pronounce it Kale, but I do, so. Right? It's just wild. And hello, Tens. Good to see you. And good to see you, Calibros. I know it's been a while. How's Tricks? What was I saying? Oh, like most of my playtime was in January and February because I play games before bed, or did, and now I don't do that as much because I'm on call with my boyfriend. So I tend to read more while he's falling asleep, kind of a situation. So I've read a lot this year, which is also good. I also got like a lot of achievements in games because that's serotonin. I love checking off a little list. That's one of my favorite things in the world. But I also played Trash Goblin so much just in November that it was my 3rd top game, which I think is really funny. Okay, doing eyes. I said that that was the thing I needed to do. Yeah, I gave you 110s because you're like here a lot and you're always niceies to me, so I think that you deserve one. I did that just this morning. Do I want to add a white highlight to the eyes? Probably not. Ah, that's fair. That's fair. I'm flying on the 25th. which was not my choice. I'm sure that's a shock to everybody. Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad it got there. That probably means the other one got there safe too, which is good. So I mailed something out at the same time. So yeah, I'm trying to plan out how, because I like to change my sheets before I leave so that when I come back, I have clean sheets. And I'm trying to plan that already. USPS has been a little overloaded and their times are kind of wild lately, I've noticed. Because, like, yes, I live in Alaska and so shipping times are kind of weird anyway. But stuff has been estimated for either way longer or way shorter than it actually shows up for. It's been kind of weird. Wow, look at you! Being prepared. Yeah, I wonder if that's because you live long away, Al. Although that one time that I shipped packages to a bunch of you, yours showed up first, Al, which was really funny. So I sent, which reminds me, I still need to send you that package, Calibros. It's been sitting untouched and I keep forgetting about it. I know you understand and it's not like a big deal, but yeah. But I sent a package to Calibros, I sent a package to Al, and I sent a package to Cap all at the same time. And they're all international, right? So Cap is in Canada, Al is in New Zealand. I'm saying that because people won't understand what I say if I say Aotearoa, I think. And I'm always scared to pronounce it wrong. And Calibros is in Finland. And Al's showed up first. It showed up before Cap's did, which I thought was wild. It showed up like a whole week before Cap showed up. Like, what? What? Yeah, so Calibros, I guess I haven't messaged you this. The reason they didn't call you is because I didn't have your phone number on the packaging. Because I didn't have your phone number. I'd put those two things together a while back and I realized. So I think that's on both of us a little bit, maybe. But anyway, it's not that big a deal. I'll ship it out again. It's not a big deal. I just haven't gotten to repackaging it because I need to pull it out and shove stuff in. I also forgot a sticker that I was going to send to you, so I can remember to send that this time. But that will be in the new year situation. I'll make sure I do that like when I get back, otherwise I won't do it. Yeah, I know that feeling, Shawnee. The times that we're traveling are like way different this time because we're only going to Portland instead of going all the way to the East Coast. So it's not as bad. We're traveling at like normal people hours instead of, you know, leaving and or getting home at like 2 in the morning. And again, it's a shorter flight, so it's not as drastic as my brain is wanting to make it. Excuse me, because usually we're traveling from Anchorage all the way to Pennsylvania, which is like by the time we get there, I've been awake for 36 hours. Which is not a fun time. And I'm old. I don't recover from that very well anymore. But this is just to Portland. It won't be that bad. But my brain is like making a hissy fit about it. My brain being mean to me? Whatever. I'm the oldest I've ever been, Calibros. But I've always been like, and again, I think this is related to the neurodivergency. I've always been really bad about my sleep schedule getting shifted. And like changed drastically. I also am incapable of sleeping in public. So like sleeping on a plane just does not happen for me. So I just stay awake the whole time. And then my schedule gets messed up and I have to like drug myself into oblivion in order to fall asleep on the other side. But I can't. By the time I'm up for 12 hours, I'm exhausted. And I want to disappear into the core of the earth. And like, I've always been a little bit like that, but it's gotten a lot worse as I've gotten older. It's like really noticeable to me. Of course, of course. Gosh, the last time we went to Pennsylvania, there was a huge windstorm when we were trying to get out of the um, state and like get home, to the point that they couldn't get any flights in or out for the most part. So our flight ended up being delayed by like 12 hours. And we were able to just like move our tickets, and it wasn't a big deal. Like, it was a little bit of a big deal because I wanted to be home, but it wasn't like a huge issue. Hi, Bean. But yeah, it was a mess. And like, again, I'm not good when the schedule changes. It drives me nuts. So that was just like a lot. I don't know. I posted about this on Tumblr too, but I've realized that honestly, the person who's the least willing to accommodate my neurodivergency is actually me, because I feel like I should be able to do it a different way, and I feel like I'm being unreasonable, which is that ties back to a lot of other things that we're dealing with. But I feel like I'm being unreasonable for asking for accommodations, which is just like, honestly, I'm not asking for that much. I just want people to tell me what's going on. But my brain has decided that that's illegal, actually. It's wild. Yeah, the need for control is the issue. And also, as a person who presents femme, it is really not safe for me to sleep in public. There was one time where I like fell asleep in the hallway in my high school and woke up to people like staring at me and being weird. I still remember that. But yeah, even so, like, usually I'm flying with my brother, and he's big. Like, he's 6'4". He's not a small person. So usually people are like nice to me because he's big and standing next to me. And it also means that since we usually sit next to each other on planes, I'm safer than I would be otherwise, because I prefer the window seat and he likes the aisle. So I'm like blocked from people, but still I cannot do that. I just don't chill enough. It takes so much effort for me to fall asleep too that it's like, I don't know. There's a routine that has to be followed. I'm sure that's shocking to anybody who's ever heard me talk about how much I need my routines. But exactly, Shawnee. Exactly. And he's always very nice about like asking if I want him to come with me to do stuff, just because like he knows that people tend to be nicer to me when he's there, which is also wild. Yeah. We love Brother Bean. He actually went with me to FedEx yesterday to ship a package, because I had I think I talked about this on stream for a second a while back, but I was sending something to my boyfriend, and I was going to include some little perfume samples of the scents that I wear, just for kicks and giggles. I mean, it's one of the long distance things where like you just send each other what you smell like, I guess. And like I was really nervous about it because perfume is technically like a hazardous substance because it's alcohol based. So he was like, "Do you want me to come in with you? I could be backup." And I was like, "Yeah, thank you." which was good. It wasn't a big deal, but like I was definitely anxiously shaking like a fucked up chihuahua for part of that interaction, which is so silly. So silly. Right? I don't mind the kid kicking the seat, honestly. Like, I'm gonna be awake anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me. I also don't get those people who get really upset when like babies are crying on a plane. Like, put yourself in the little person's shoes. Like, that's the scariest thing they've ever done. They're allowed to cry. And also it feels like their head is exploding and they can't understand why. Like, that's just a little guy. Stop being mean about it. Yeah, see, Bean, the thing is, boyfriend lives in Canada. So since it's international and since basically all mail out of Alaska has to be airmailed, so there's extra regulations about it. So I was looking into it because I was going to send some perfume samples to my girlfriend too, and it looks like they won't do that either, except if you go through a special shipping company that has to repack it for you with the correct labels and stuff on it. And so shipping the perfume to Canada was going to be like $440. And to be honest, if they could have done it at that location, I probably would have paid that much because I'm insane. Um, so maybe it's good that they couldn't. Yeah, yeah. I always carry extra earplugs in my purse whenever I travel so that I can offer them to people, like individually wrapped ones, the foam ones, so that I can offer them to people who are having a hard time. And sometimes people are really grateful, and sometimes people treat you like you're an asshole, but that's a them problem and not a me problem. But I always make sure to bring extras with me just in case. I actually should maybe get some gum to put in my purse for that too. Yeah, I've decided to not bring my noise canceling headphones with me this time, and we'll see if I regret that decision. I do have just like in-ear earbuds that don't have like noise canceling, which is fine, but they do block out a fair amount of the sound because they fit my ear really well, so I think that'll be okay. And I will also have earplugs, so I don't think it's a big deal. Yeah, exactly. Like, no, I can't, Bean. That would not make it better for me. That would make it worse because, I don't know, my brain kind of stops working if I take an edible. I actually probably am not taking any edible until I come back. Because today would, again, with me and my routines, are you guys noticing a theme? Um, Fridays are my edible days. If I decide to have an edible, it's usually on a Friday because I don't have to get up the next morning. But I also have a specific rule that I'm not allowed to take any sort of substance if there's an emotion I'm trying to hide from, which has been the case for the past little bit here. So I'm not going to test it because sometimes your brain doesn't need help with being depressed, and so you shouldn't take a depressant, you know? That's so valid, Bean. Like all power to you if that's the way you get through. I cannot. I'm way too high strung. Like I need to be in full control of my faculties, which is wild for me to say because I used to like drink a lot on planes, which I don't anymore, obviously. But I don't know. Like the duality there is very interesting. That's nice. Yeah. But like it'll be fine. My brain just likes to make a bigger deal out of things than it needs to. Which is part of why the just being very dramatic and weird about it up leading up to it is better, honestly. I gotta be weird and dramatic and then it'll be fine and then I'll feel a little silly for being so dramatic and then it'll be fine. You know? Okay. I think I want to do another layer on the eyes. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna bring my video game or not. So I was talking. I know you guys will like be totally shocked by this. I have a packing list set already, and I was talking it out with my boyfriend on call last night. So I was like, I don't know if I'm doing this. I don't know if I'm doing that. I don't know if I want to bring this. But one of my problems is that I'm like a massive overpacker, and I will bring like 35,000 different things to do, and then I will end up like so brain dead that I won't actually do any of the things that I brought. So I'm being very careful this time. I'm trying to like only bring things that I know I will have the brain power and capability to do instead of just like bringing everything. Because like it's literally only a 10-day trip. I don't have time to do these 35 other projects that are in my head, you know? So I'm not sure if I'm going to bring my Steam Deck with me or not. Emergency socks I do have. Um, I'm going to bring like a massive amount of underwear because that's just what you do as an anxious person. You bring like 3 times more underwear than you think that you would ever need, you know? Um, that's just how it works. But I have a lot of like background work for sticker prepping to get done, um, which doesn't take a lot of brain power, and I can do while I'm listening to other people talk. So it's like a very approachable thing to do, which just means I need to bring my iPad. I also have books to read and stuff like that. So I have a couple books, like physical books that I'm bringing, and then I have like my entire Kindle library with me, right? So I think that will keep me covered for most of that, because honestly, the way that it usually goes is I totally just lost my train of thought. Brain? You wanna pop that back out? Nope, it's gone. Never mind. Um, oh god, my purse. I have so much stuff in my purse. And yeah, Shawnee, you gotta be prepared, you know? I love Fat Calibros. Yeah, exactly. See, that's my rule. I like kids as long as I can give them back when I'm done. That was always my rule. I don't want my own kids. Like, I don't want to be in charge of a tiny person. Yeah, the people who make fun of you for stuff are always the ones who, like, ask you. So, like, I always carry, like, Band-Aids. I used to have little travel size things of Neosporin, but I don't do that anymore. And I have, like, extra earplugs, and I have multiple pens, and, you know, all sorts of stuff. And the people who are, and, like, two different kinds of painkillers and stuff like that. And so people who are like, oh, why do you carry so much stuff with you? Are suddenly like, oh, my head hurts. I don't have any painkillers. And I'm like, what kind do you want? And they're like, oh my God, thank you. And I'm like, yeah, stop making fun of me. Don't be a jackass. Yeah, yeah. Good plan, Shawnee. Good plan. And it's always good to keep an emergency kit in your car. Because, like, you're in your car when you're traveling, so you need stuff. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I have two different brands of tampons and pads in my backpack, even though I have the one that I use, but I also have other options in case other people need stuff and stuff like that. And I have allergy pills, so like Benadryl basically. I have two different painkillers. I have Tums on me. I have um decongestants. I also have Band-Aids, that kind of stuff. I also have like multiple kinds of sugar candy in case like there's a sugar crash, you know. You gotta have your little snackies. I for a while I was getting those little 2 packs of the Pepto um like tablets, and then they stopped shipping it to Alaska, so I couldn't get them anymore. Which is annoying, because it is helpful to have on you, like. You just gotta be prepared. And I'm just like that as a person anyway, so I might as well be prepared for everybody. Is there anything else I want to do to this? Yeah, we're just like the same here. It's so funny. That's totally valid, Wiggle, honestly. Oh, actually, Wiggle and Calibros, you're both from Finland. I've talked to you about each other, I think, and I haven't introduced you. But you're here together. Because I told you, Wiggle, that I started learning Finnish from my Finnish friend. That's Calibros. Me connecting the dots in my own head. Yeah, it seems like it would be really helpful to do for a convention, too. I've seen those, like, for fan conventions. People who run around with like sewing kits and duct tape and stuff like that to fix people's costumes. I would love to do that. I love that idea. I mean, I don't really want to go to a convention. I might end up doing some if I can sell at them, but there's just like, I don't like a lot of people. It stresses me out. But I think being a seller would be a little different because, like, even though you're all like shoved together, you do have like your designated spot. I don't want to be in a fursuit. I don't like being like disconnected. I don't even like wearing gloves in the winter because I don't like having my touch limited. Yeah, I still mask in public, so that's definitely part of it. But really, it's just like a lot of noises and a lot of people that don't always respect personal space is more the situation. And also it just involves masking. Although I've been masking less, so maybe at some point I will stop entirely masking, as if that's like a lot. Ah, good. Yeah, so I do carry, like I mentioned, the like disposable foam ones with me, but I also have some loop ones that help a fair amount. Good, they should. It is wild to me. The reaction to masking wasn't, oh, we can mask and people will get sick less. That's good. Like, what the fuck? Everybody should be masking at a con, like base level, even before COVID, because you have a whole bunch of people who just came from like a bunch of different places with a bunch of different germs, and you're all like sat next to each other breathing the same germs. You're gonna get sick, like, but everybody could like limit that and everybody else's exposure to their own germs by just wearing a mask, and it's not that difficult. Like, yeah, I agree, Tens. Yeah. I still mask in public all the time. And honestly, part of that, like, I do want to be masking. I want to be showing my disabled friends that somebody is still trying. That's really important to me. But also, my teeth are fucked up, and people are way nicer to me in the mask than when they can see my teeth. We've talked about the teeth on stream before, but it's like, it's bad. So people are way nicer to me until I take off my mask. And it's wild how noticeable that is. Which, like, to be fair, I notice a lot. No, see, Calibros, that's when you lie. Yeah. If I know that I'm sick, I stay home. But also because my body is the fun zone. My base stress response, like my body stress responses, are flu symptoms. So I can't always tell if I'm actually sick or if my body is just causing problems on purpose. Oh, that's fair, Calibros. It's like some places try to do that here, but our healthcare system is a mess, so like you can't really enforce it for the most part. Yes, exactly, Shawnee. Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense, Bean. Okay, are you dry? Yes. I think it's time for glitter. If I was thinking ahead, I would have pre-wet the gold, but I didn't. So I'm gonna do it now, and then we'll deal with it in a second. Oh, excuse me. I'm still eepy. I'd have not gotten enough sleep this week. True. I also live near the ocean, but it's not like the nice hangout there ocean, you know? It's the try to get close to the ocean and then the mud kills you kind of a situation. Oh, yeah, for sure, Wiggle. You get that like break period. And then your body's like, here's all the shit you've been ignoring. Have fun, asshole. Ooh, that's good. Of course not. Of course not. I have yet to call out sick for the modeling job. I think that's mostly just because, like, they're pretty understanding about my physical limitations, and for the most part, if I'm sick, it's actually just my body throwing a hissy fit. I don't get, like, ill very often. Yeah, the ocean smell is always good. I am excited for that because my grandma lives like right next to the coast, so I will get to smell the ocean. Probably gonna try and get somebody to drive me to just sit on the beach for a while, even though it's like winter, so it's gonna be like windy and disgusting. I love it. Oh God, seagulls. Yeah, there was a town in Oregon that part of my family had a condo at. So we got to go on vacations there fairly often, and it was like a small town. Like its main thing is tourism, um, and that's mostly during the summer. But the seagulls there, oh my God, they were absolute terrors. Yeah, so they would form like bomb squads basically, and would like dive bomb people with popcorn until they dropped it. Which, as some of you may recall, I have bird fear. Birds scare the ever living shit out of me. Um, so that really worked with me, and I refused to eat popcorn on the beach from a very young age because I knew that the seagulls would try to get me. That's also valid. Yep. Birds are scary. Like, I'm not sure if I have like a specific reason to be scared of birds. I know that my grandma is also scared of birds, but she grew up on like a farm with, attack chickens and geese, so that makes a little bit more sense. Me, on the other hand, the only like bird related incident when I was really little, like before I was aware that I was scared of birds, I guess is a way to put that. My great grandma had a little parakeet that would bite you. And so I probably, when I was a baby, for sure, at least once, stuck my finger in the cage and got bit. Um, But the place where I grew up also had a lake that they did swim lessons in during the summer. And so that's where I learned how to swim. And geese would hang out on the way to like in the grass before you get to the actual lake. And if you got too close to them, they would bite you, they would chase you. So a lot of times you had to like go into the bathroom and change into your swimsuit and then like book it as fast as you possibly could to get into the lake. Because they wouldn't bother you once you were in the water, but if you were on the grass, they would bite you. And if you have never been bitten by a goose, I'm really happy for you because they fucking hurt. They do have sharp little teeth, and when they get you, they twist. It's really uncomfortable. If you can avoid getting bitten by a goose, I highly suggest you avoid that. Um, but that's where I had my swim lessons from like the time I started swimming until, I don't know, I was probably like 12 or something. Yeah, like I wasn't doing anything to them. They were just mad that I was there. And it's like, this isn't my problem. Stop being mean to me. I didn't do nothing to you. Oh gosh, yeah. Swans, I assume, are just as scary as geese, but they're bigger. Like, they also seem horrifying to me. And again, yes, I have bird fear, but they also seem scary. See that the getting close to babies I will understand. Like I may not agree with the way you're going about it, but I can understand your intentions and see that they are good. You know? There's like a tiny spot there where I missed the gold. Just a tiny little bit, and now I'm gonna mess up the whole thing by having touched it again. That should be okay. Yeah, geese are like wild. I mean, yes, they are. Most geese are wild. Yeah. Have I told you guys about when I probably haven't now that I'm thinking about it. But we went to the Grand Canyon when I was like 11. That was like our big vacation trip because my dad had a business conference. And the squirrels there had figured out a racket to get people's ice cream and food. Because obviously it's like a tourist destination, right? So there's a lot of like food stands with like ice cream and, you know, your French fries and what have you, and you can eat it next to the big pit. And the squirrels formed teams, and one of them would run up somebody's arm if they were like seated someplace until the person turned their head and dropped their food. And then the other squirrel would go in to grab the food. And I watched a pair of squirrels work together to get a guy's ice cream off the cone, which is just wild. It's wild. Like, good work, guys. You figured it out. Oh, that's interesting, Wiggle. I guess it makes sense to, like, add more eyes to watch if you're both worried about the same thing, you know? Just like have more night watchmen, basically. Probably this one. So, I think this is pretty much done. I'm gonna add a little bit of a highlight on the paper clip here. And I think a tiny little bit in his eyes. On the edge of this. And then I think that this is done, really. Do I know what I'm doing after this? Absolutely not. I do want to do my brain cannot hold on to a sentence today. I do want to end up doing the 2025 medal, but I think I want to do that digitally. But I haven't decided what I want it to say yet. So the one that I did for 2024 just said we made it with a thumbs up. For this one, I want to do something about like community or something like that. Like standing together kind of a vibe, but I haven't figured out what I want it to say yet. That makes sense, Wiggle. Yeah. I think that spot's fine. There are a couple spots in here that are a little less sparkly, but I don't think it's a big deal. But he's sparkle. Look at him. He's so shiny. Oh, I wanted to do on the lens too. That's what I'm forgetting, but I wanted to do that bigger. I remember now. Not that that's super obvious right now, but I don't know. The traveling thing means that I can't like really start any serious art for a while. Because if it's something that's going to take me longer than today, I'm not going to have time to finish it. Because I'm not bringing my watercolors with me because, as previously mentioned, that'll just stress me out. I think so. I think they do. Mate for life. Ah, thanks, Wiggle. And lurks are always appreciated. Yeah, Calibros. Yeah. Which maybe is for the better. I don't know. But back when we theoretically mated for life, a lot of people ended up killing their spouses. So I think it's better for the species as a whole to have an out there. What else do I have to do? I don't know that I have much of anything to do. I have pieces of scratch paper. We could do something. I don't know what. I'm sure there's some idea that I thought of that I was like, ah, I could paint that, and then I've immediately forgotten it. Hi, Cap. Good to see you. Actually, no. Cap showing up made me have an idea. I know what we're doing. We're going to do fan art of something that Cap's daughter drew. Because it's been in my head since I saw it. It's stuck in my brain. It's a catfish mermaid. And I'm kind of tempted to make a little one so that I can send a sticker to her and say that I did fan art of her little drawing. Look, Cap, we finished the beetle just now, so I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. He's shiny now, just in case anybody was wondering. And I do think the underpainting shows up like just enough, so I think we did a good level of that. Yeah. This is going to be a pain in the butt to edit for a sticker, but I think it'll be worth it. But yeah, I don't know. I just need something to do, so let's just do that, huh? Do I still have the photo on my phone? Probably, but we could also just go based off of vibes, because I do remember pretty well what it was. I know that I shouldn't probably start thinking about this already, but I might start thinking about what sticker I want to do for February Sticker Club. Maybe I want to move that over a little bit. Because, I don't know, we need to do something lovey-dovey for February, obviously. Like, January is already sorted. Did I bring one of those out here? I don't know that I did, actually. I don't think I did. Oh, Calibros! Did I ever tell you that I made this into a sticker? This is for sale in my shop. This art was originally made for Calabros's birthday. Fun fact. Also this one. I just make really good art for Calabros, I think. So those are in my shop. Those were both made for Calabros for his birthday. And now I'm selling it because I'm just like that as a person, I guess. I didn't bring out that one. I should have. We'll need to remember that for next time. I think maybe I packaged them all up and didn't save myself one. Well, happy early birthday, Bean, just in case I don't see you. But it'll be fine. Like, yes, time is moving forward, but it'll be okay. I think maybe if I just kind of do like that. We need to do like a planny sketch here so that I can actually figure out how big this tail should be. Yeah. Yeah. It just feels like it gets faster, honestly. And that's not because it's actually getting faster. It's more that it's less of your life to get to the next part, you know? So like when you're 10, getting to the next year is a 10th of your life, right? But as you get older, that percentage is less, so it feels like it happens faster. I don't like that tail. I don't like it. This is the problem. See, you guys get to see how often I erase stuff and replan things, which is why I usually do my line art digitally. And then transfer it because I end up ruining paper. But this is scratch paper, it's not a big deal. Like it is art paper, but it's mostly scratch stuff. Like it's a leftover cutting. There might be a better shape. Maybe I have something that's a little bit bigger so that I don't need to worry about it so much. Just have like random pieces of paper shoved everywhere. I also, actually, you know what we should be doing is organizing my gigantic art stack that's sitting over there, but don't look at it. You can't see it, it's off stream. Don't worry about it. Oh, pull an affirmation card, we can do that. I could do this. It's not perfect for watercolor. Or I could do a 5x5, which is probably a better bet. Put those down. I will pull an affirmation card once I find them. They're there. Up, up, up. Yes, this is true. We do get Leon's help. Although really mostly I've just been rubbing the eraser gunk on my leg because it gets it off of the paper faster if you use cloth. But this is what happens when I don't plan things. I end up with 35,000 ideas and can't figure out what I'm doing. Which is also just kind of my life, if I'm being honest, but you know. Potato, potato. All right, Al, you get to pick left or right. And also, I get to realize that my thumb joint is also mad at me. Right. Any obstacle you encounter is an opportunity to learn. I feel called out. Cards are attacking me. My brain just like completely shutting down. It's fine. I think today's probably gonna be a shorter stream. Just like we finished what we were gonna do. So unless I like really get focused on this, we probably aren't gonna have like a super long one. But I could go like continue working on my packing list. You know how it is. A tweet! I will have a little tweet. Thank you. Oh, I didn't bring a caramel out here today, which is probably a better bet. But I will have some salmiakki. That is now ancient and so chewy. Hi, Big White Bear! Yeah. Do you guys want to see the art stack that's hanging off screen? This keeps falling over because it's just sat on the edge of the couch. It's just like basically all the art I've made this year and some from before because I've pulled it out of my accordion folder. Is it stacked in any way that makes sense? Absolutely not. But it sure is there. It's gonna fall over now that I moved it. There it goes! Ah! Here, you guys get this. This is the amount that fell. So maybe I should actually organize that. Katie's so organized. I don't know about all that. Ah, thank you, Cap. Perfect. I did remember it pretty well in my head. See, so I have an accordion folder sitting here that I have like for my art, but only certain sizes fit in it because it is an accordion folder. So it's made for like actual documents and not art. Oh, this one isn't even mine. You guys want to see this? This is by Cadoodles. Thank you, Shani. I'm really excited to like have my studio space set up so that I can get one of those like actual file drawers. And one of those like flat style drawers for like prints and stuff and like art paper so that it's like has its place where it goes, you know? Like if given the opportunity, I would like to be organized. That isn't always how it works with my stuff because I also have brainworms, you know. You know how it is, I'm sure. What else is over here? There's an envelope that would dox me. Why is that there? There's another piece of art. What's in here? Nobody knows. What is that? Really? I guess that makes sense, honestly. Who has money for that anymore? What's this? Who are you? What's my name? What's happening? Oh, this is a print. I remember. And I was leaving it flattened over there because it arrived a little damaged, but I didn't want to make a fuss about it. But this will be, yeah, it's a little damaged, but it's fine. This is by Rose Solarian, who does really cool art, and did a webcomic that altered my brain chemistry when I was younger. Very cool queer creator. Ah, that makes sense, Cap. Because we'd be like that. Oh, here's more prints. That's what these are. You guys want to see? I'm sure you do. Who's this? What's this? I don't know. I got these. This one I really, really like. I mean, I like all of them, just to be clear, but they're all very pretty. But I've been collecting little art prints and art to hang on the walls of my studio once I get it set up, which means that there's just like a bunch of stuff sitting around because I haven't gotten them framed or anything yet because I don't have any place to put them. It is definitely one of those situations where I, oh, that doesn't fit in there. Okay, fine. I'm probably going to end up like painting the frames myself to make them look more fun and then put the wall up. It's going to be great. But I can't do that until like the space is actually set up, you know? So there's just like little stacks of art all over the place. Because again, like Shawnee said, life is really just a bunch of stacks. What else have I got over here? That's trash. I'm just gonna sit here and talk to you guys while I clean up, apparently. That's what's gonna happen. Here's more art. This is scrap paper. But I was gonna lift this up to show you guys, and then I didn't do it. But this is my accordion folder that has my art in it. It's rainbow, and it's a mess. But it's just sat off screen over here. It also has some of my like cello bags in certain sizes and stuff that I don't use very often. And cut paper and stuff of that nature. This one is packed up to sell, so it should go with me. Packing stuff. Hickory sticks, yes. Yes, we do. Oh, there's more cut paper in the front of this. Okay. Okay, past Katie. I have a bunch of scrap paper. That's... Yeah. Oh, there's cut paper for a project that I started and then, well, I cut paper for it because I thought it would make me start the project, and that was not what happened. You know how it is when you got the brain worms. Oh, thank you. That's the sticker for my Patreon sticker club this month, actually. So you could actually get that as a sticker this month. So there's the regular sticker, and then if you are part of the sticker club this month, you also get a little mini sticker to give to other people. So that's them like out of the packaging. Here's the regular packaging for the big sticker, and then the little sticker you get in a little like I don't know, kind of like a candy wrapper vibe. I thought it was funny to give especially for the fruitcake, to have it so that you could force somebody else to have fruitcake. I just thought that was really funny for the holidays, and also perfectly valid to keep it for yourself. I believe I said in my introductory post for that specific sticker that you could keep it for yourself and I wouldn't tell on you. Exactly, Cap. It's kind of like, it's like a condom. Just keep it in your back pocket in case you find somebody that you need to foist fruitcake upon. You know, just in case. You never know. And thank you. I made that myself. This was kind of like a test run for the packaging that I want to do for the bug collection stickers. So I wanted to make sure that like my math concept was correct and see how well this paper worked. And I do think I'm going to need to change the paper to something more matte. But the rest of it I I designed this, I printed it, I put it together. I glued it all together myself. So, yeah. I'm glad you guys like it because I think it's very cute too. Exactly, Cap. Yes. When you want a sticker. Even if you barely know her. You know. Excellent. Okay, scrap papers. This will not fit in the thing. Neither does this one. These ones do, though. Scrap, scrap. This one also does not fit in the accordion file. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, honestly. I'm still tempted to burn it, if I'm being honest. This was art for the coloring book project I was doing with Cadoodles, Doodles by Cadoodles. And I said that the only way to get this original art was to back the Kickstarter, which we didn't get fully backed. So this will never be available again. And I don't know what to do with it. I legitimately am tempted to just burn it. Which made Cadoodles sad when I said that when she was here, I think. But here, I know that I have... Let's cut paper. Go up there. She was like, no, you could keep it for yourself to enjoy. And I'm like, okay, full disclosure, I don't like how this turned out. And I like kept that very, very under my hat while the thing was going. But I would not enjoy it if I kept it. I will just look at it and see all the things I don't like about it. I have a bunch of stuff that I put in like packaging to take to people. Yeah, see, but I said that the only way to get it was through the Kickstarter tier to back that. So I would feel incorrect about letting it be available another way after I said it was going to only be the one way, you know? So I packaged a bunch of this stuff to take to one of my modeling sessions so that some of the teenagers could see the stuff that I do. So some of it's packaged and some of it isn't. But I don't know. I'll probably just leave it in a drawer and I'll forget that it exists. And then when I die, somebody can figure out what to do with it. You know? I can just like make that a problem for other people in the future instead of dealing with it myself. That's what you do, right? Like as a person. You just make other people deal with shit. No, I disagree with that assessment, Cap. The Kickstarter did happen, even if it wasn't fully funded. Yeah, maybe someday it'll be worth like $1 million. I don't know. To be honest, I don't think it will be. Like, I'm not a bad artist, but I also don't think I'm gonna hit it big anytime soon. You know? And also, I don't know that I would want to. I kind of like my little spot on the internet. Yeah, there you go, Shani. Oh, here's the... I don't have the actual sticker out here, but here's the art for the sticker for January. Sticker Club. Sorry, I just keep saying the month and not finishing that thought, and that's probably confusing to people who don't know what I'm talking about. But I do, as previously mentioned, have a Sticker Club tier on my Patreon where you get a sticker from me once a month. And the sticker is exclusive for at least a month, and sometimes the sticker will never be available again. And yeah, this is the one for January. Yeah, I think there are a lot of people who are just good at marketing and aren't necessarily good at art. And I don't want to be good at marketing because I hate it. So I'll just stay in my little corner. Yeah, that's totally fair, Bewitch, and that's like a long-standing artist tradition to paint over stuff, you know? Yeah, yeah. What? There was something in that, but it isn't in there anymore. Okay. Let's see. There's another piece of scrap paper. Bug stuff. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of big name people, especially ones who like tried to get popular by making a statement, quote unquote, are some of the most milquetoast artists in the entire world, and it's fucking boring. And that's my opinion on Banksy. I think that perhaps he started out with some real intentions to be a real artist, you know, making big statements, but really it's nothing. Like, it's boring. Yeah, Shawnee, for sure. I'm just honest. If I'm being 100% honest with you guys right now, there used to be like an actual order and color coding to the folders in my accordion file. I'm just shoving these wherever they'll fit right now, so I'm not going to be able to find them again. This is another one that I really don't like how it turned out. The muscles. I was going to make this into a card and I didn't like it. So I didn't. I don't like it. Sometimes you just like, you think you have a good idea and then you make it and you're like, actually, this kind of blows. This one though, this slaps. Yeah, this is gonna be a washi tape next year. Hopefully. I'm hoping I can get that. Yes, agreed. Also, Semple is on thin fucking ice with me. And by that, I mean I'm tired of hearing about him and I want him to shut up. There are so many people who are really popular, like big names, who I just find insufferable on a base level. Like, I get that you wanted to make like a big hee hee ha ha statement about somebody else, but perhaps picking on an artist of color who is also mildly insufferable is not the way to do that. And to make it your entire shtick for the rest of your career is just like stupid. Yeah, for sure, Jen. And I do photograph all of my art and put it, and for now it's on my website for sure. Um, but I don't know. Sometimes it just doesn't hit right, and that's just the way it is. Sometimes you make bad art. That's just how life happens. Like sometimes things don't turn out the way that you wanted, and you hate it, and that's fine. Like you can't make bangers 100% of the time. Like you gotta make some stinkers, otherwise the bangers don't hit as hard. You know? Yeah, Shawnee, for sure. Although I mostly tend to keep my journals and stuff because it's good for me to look back and see how I thought about something that changed. And like my opinions have changed since then, and how I've grown in a way that I didn't think that I would have at that moment that I was writing something. So, yeah, for sure, Wiggle. Like, for the most part, people are just making drama to make drama. Like, there is no actual importance to anything they're doing. They just like to make a stink. Which, like, fair. Sometimes I throw a hissy fit too, but I don't make it everybody's problem. You know? Like, do I occasionally have a hot take that I say repeatedly on different platforms? Yeah, but also I'm not going to make that my whole personality. Like, I have actual problems and actual things to do. You have fun over there being a little shithead, and I'm just going to do things that are fun for me. Okay, that's the scrap paper one. This is the other cut paper, mostly. That one needs to go, that's why I set it over there. That needs to go in the other room. Um, I have like a lot of random types of paper that I'm like not going to use again that I should do something with. As if you're a shithead, Calibros, please. I mean, you're occasionally a troll, but you're a troll who understands boundaries, which I don't think makes you a real troll. And honestly, I I should give you some tea at some point, Calibros, but that is an in DMs discussion about some people that I've been dealing with lately. And Cap knows exactly who I'm thinking of right now. Calibros will understand it in a different way than you would, Bewitch, because we have a shared experience with a personality that is similar to the person that I'm thinking about right now. This is a... Oh, that was for the quilt block. We aren't doing that anymore, so that's scrapped now. I will say one of the things that it's not about you, Bewitch. I have nothing but good things to say about you. I will say one of the things that I very much like about my past self is that I always wrote on the back of the paper what kind of paper it was. So I know exactly what this is and what the fiber content is. That was very smart of past me. Oh, that has drawings on it. Okay. These are just like, most of these are things that I cut left over from StreamMink 2023, honestly. Like this one is like a super plasticky kind of paper. I don't know really what you're supposed to use this for, if I'm being 100% honest. It's just so plasticky and weird. I don't know what you do with it. It's so shiny. But I used it to do like some acrylic paint pulling for the ramen piece that I did for StreamMink, which is in here somewhere. There it is. It's usually easy to find because it's got a bunch of other paper glued to it. So I did that for the first, I did this for the first one, but I didn't like how it turned out, so we redid it on a different kind of paper. So this is just like acrylic ink, or acrylic paint that I thinned out with a little bit of water to make the noodles, and I just used like a squeegee basically to pull this down. And then we did the individual toppings on watercolor paper with watercolor and glued that to it. This turned out a lot better than the other one. I don't think I kept the other one. I don't remember if I did or not. I think I probably threw it away, which is so valid of past me. I try not to, like, yes, I try to hold on to certain things because I think that it's important to give like a historical record of my life to myself, especially because my brain lies to me a lot. But I also come from a line of hoarders, and I try to not keep so much stuff that somebody will have to deal with whenever I shuffle the mortal coil, you know? Because, like, hoi. There's a lot of stuff. Okay, these are all of the SWOT sheets, which I can put someplace so that I can actually frickin' find them again. Those were website assets that we did a while back. That goes in the front with the other. These aren't getting sold to pieces. Okay. There, that's less messy than it was before. Yes, absolutely. You gotta use the good shit. Like don't save your art supplies for the right time. The right time is now. Same with that fancy candle or the good soap. Like just fucking use it. I know, Cap. You always do really good with anatomy too. You should do like a little under the clothes thing where you show like the finished piece with all the clothes and then show your anatomy underneath all of it, honestly. Yeah, exactly, Bewitch. And like, what's the point of keeping the nice stuff if you never even get to use it? So like, my great grandmother, who lived with us when she passed away, died without a will, which meant that me and my mom and some of the other family members had to go through all of her stuff to decide who was getting what and to break it up evenly. Um, and I still remember that I had gotten her a couple things like candle in her favorite scent, some like bath salts that I'd scented specifically for her, stuff like that, that were just sitting there and had never been opened. And like, I get that you want to save it or like it makes you think of the person when you look at the thing, but why would you not want to use it and think of the person? You know? And like, to be clear, I wasn't upset about that in like an emotional way or anything. It was just very much one of those moments where I looked at something and I was like, well, that's fucking stupid. I'm not going to do it that way, you know? I will also say that situation where we were sorting through all of her stuff was definitely one of the moments where I like looked at it and I was like, "Oh my god, my family has a huge problem in keeping things." And to be fair, that is work that I'm still doing. I still have too much stuff. I'm aware. I've been cleaning it out a little bit at a time. But we were going through her boxes. She had a bunch of boxes because she'd had her own condo before she moved into our house. And so there were a bunch of boxes that had been sealed since she was in her condo. And before her condo, she had lived in LA. And so when she'd moved to her condo in Washington, she'd had a professional moving company pack all of her stuff. And some of those boxes were still unopened from when she had lived in LA 40 years ago. And one of the boxes we opened up was a very carefully packed bag of kitchen trash from LA that had been sitting in that box the entire time. Yeah, with the little packing label on it that said which shipper had packed it and everything. Because professional shippers will just pack whatever is there. That's their job, right? So if you don't like move things out of their way or whatever, they'll just pack whatever. That's how it works. We had a similar issue moving our stuff to Alaska, because it counts as international because it has to get driven up, right? So we had to be really specific about what was getting packed and what wasn't. But yeah, that was a moment. There was also a box that contained all of the cocktail sticks that she'd used when she had visited China in the 60s. Which, like, they were just little plastic Swizzler sticks. And going through all of that stuff was like, I was like, ah, I see. This is a core memory here. This is going to change how we interact with the world for the rest of our life. And like, I don't know. Yeah. And to give some benefit to my great grandma, she lived through the Great Depression, which was part of the reason why she kept stuff, was because during the Great Depression, her family almost lost the entire farm that she lived on because her dad was also disabled. He was paralyzed from the neck down, and she was in charge of taking care of the household during the Great Depression. So it was not like unfounded to feel the need to keep stuff and to keep stuff to feel safe. So I understand where that's coming from, and I don't want to like beat her up. She was a lovely person. She was very kind to me all the time. But it is one of those things where like sometimes the thing that you really teach your relatives is how to not be like you. And that was definitely one of those moments for me where it's just like, ah, I see. We don't want to do this. We don't want to do this to anybody else in the future, you know? Yeah, yeah. And it's not an uncommon issue, especially for people who have lived through such severe like food insecurity or space insecurity or stuff insecurity, you know. So if you aren't used to having or getting to keep your stuff, when you are in the space where you're able to do that, you will keep everything. So like I understand it, but I also don't want to do that. And one of the great things about seeing that is knowing that I have been given a different chance than she was so that I don't have to feel like that, you know? But yeah. Yeah, Wiggle. It's definitely a situation for a lot of people. And I will also say that making a will is the kindest thing you can do while you're still alive to the people that you're going to leave behind. And also, if you're queer or if you're estranged from your family, make sure you write down who is your actual next of kin and who's in charge of your estate. That's really, really important. See you later, Jen. Good to see you. So that's fair, Tens. So, like, we've just gone into like a horribly morbid chat here. This is just gonna, I don't know. I think it's not that morbid, really, if we're being honest. I think it's important. But so my best friend, who I mentioned having passed away earlier in the stream, actually, had a partner of 5 years who they had a condo together. And because my friend didn't have a will when he passed away, there was some contention with the family who he wasn't out to. Um, so there was a lot of stress around that, and there was a lot of mess, and it was very difficult to deal with. And honestly, I think if the partner hadn't been on the mortgage paperwork for the condo, he would have been homeless within a couple weeks. Um, so it's like a mess. So definitely have something somewhere that somebody can find that says stuff, even if you don't get an official will done. Oh, Calibros, to be fair, you also throw stuff in the trash when you go visit. Like, you try to keep as on top of it as you can. But yeah, it's definitely a thing. So I personally have a spreadsheet that my brother has access to that has people that I want contacted, and next to their names it has stuff that I think that they should be offered from my stuff. Um, which isn't an official will, but is still a document that says some stuff for like direction for people to deal with if something happens, you know. And I decided to do that after my mom passed away because we really didn't know how to contact all of our friends. Like, we just didn't have the information. So there are probably some people out there who still don't know what happened, but which is totally fair, Calibros. Like, honestly. I don't know what to do with the sheath paper. I'm not putting it back in my thing because I know I'm not going to use it. So maybe I'm just going to sit here and tear up a piece of paper for shits and giggles. I don't know. But yeah, my dad has been going through a bunch of my mom's crafting stuff. Like, he did that over Thanksgiving holiday. And like, there are so many half-finished projects and stuff, which I understand. Like, me too, bestie. But there's like a lot. The one thing that I said specifically that he should keep if he found this half-finished project is a quilt that my mom started making with somebody who was at the church we went to when I was growing up. And it's been sitting in a bag unfinished since we lived in Oregon. We moved up to Alaska in 2006, and it had already been sitting in that bag for multiple years because I think she started it with Mrs. Himes, is the person who has also passed away. Because I think she started that with Mrs. Himes when I was in kindergarten. I'm not a spring chicken, just throwing that out there. That was a while ago, but I convinced her, I think, to keep it when she moved out of Alaska. So if I can find that, I would like to actually finish it and offer it to Mrs. Himes' son, who I was close to growing up. If I can find him again, we haven't had contact in a long time, but So far, he hasn't found that. I don't know where it would be, so maybe it has actually disappeared forever. I don't know. But we'll see. Yeah, and there to be fair, I should point this out too. There are multiple not companies is not the right thing. Organizations that will take half finished or partially finished creative projects and complete them if your loved one passed away without finishing them, which I think is beautiful. And I would not force the amount of projects that my mother hasn't completed on other people, but because there's a lot of them. And for the most part, I told Dad that he should just get rid of them. Um, but she also, I've mentioned this before too, but she had a number of um, weaving projects measured and ready to be warped um, that she hadn't done for a number of years because she was just too unwell to be able to do that. Um, well, she was too unwell when she was sober to be able to do that. So I started working through those. I haven't been back down there because some other stuff happened, so we haven't been spending as much time with my dad. But sorry, I just got distracted by notification. So I started doing that. I finished one, and I'm not doing them the way she said that she was going to do them because we have very different weaving styles. But I finished one that was a shawl and gave it to somebody that I knew that she would have appreciated having a project from her. And I started doing a huge warp of kitchen towels, which again, I've changed the way that they're going to go. Because I think if I remember correctly, she was going to use those as like hand towels in the bathroom for when they had parties. But I didn't want to do it that way, so I did it a different way. But like, I don't know. I think there's like a specific love language in finishing something that somebody left behind. And sometimes you have the capability to do that, and sometimes you don't. But there are organizations that will actually do that. So if you have creative family members who pass away and you find a project in notes, you can actually search that up and have people who volunteer to finish those projects for you and then give you the finished product, which I think is really cool. Good to mention. Yeah, yeah. I do. So the kitchen towels is the second of 3 projects that she had measured out and ready to be done. But I am planning a 4th project of my own using the stuff that she left behind. So there's a few like loose ends and stuff from items that she had and like crafting materials that are left behind that I have squirreled away where my dad won't get rid of them down there. But I plan to make a tapestry out of them, and I have the sketches in my notebook. I planned this when we were down there right after she passed, which was around Christmas, which is part of the reason why it's so at the forefront of my mind at the moment and why I keep talking about it. But that's so fair, Shawnee. Yeah, I think that's a little bit more difficult maybe than crafting stuff because for a lot of like cross stitches and stuff, you have already the pattern and the thread and everything, you know. But yeah. I mean, the trauma of losing you is probably enough, Shawnee, honestly. I think that's enough to do anybody in. But yeah, I don't know. Just been on my mind lately because she was in ICU like well, she wasn't in ICU over Christmas, but she was in a medically induced coma right after Christmas and passed away on the 1st of January of 2023. So this time of year now is reminiscing about my mother time. Which we kind of joked that she couldn't even pass before the beginning of the new year so we could leave it behind, you know? But 'tis what it is. Okay, I've organized the stack, which is progress of a sort. Has that made a new stack that I need to deal with? Yes, it has. Such is the way. Do I have anything else important to say? I don't know that I do. I don't know that much of what I was saying for the last, hour and change was important, but I was going to say it anyway, so. Oh, I love that for you, Teds. And yeah, I have a folder on my computer that says delete in case of emergency that I've told my brother about, and he's supposed to delete it without looking at it before anybody else gets to it. Sometimes you need to have a contingency plan. Because there are some things that nobody needs to see. Thank you very much. Like, that's nobody's business but mine. Thank you. Okay. Do I have anything else I really need to do out here? I could clean stuff up a little bit, but I don't know that I really want to. Because it's not like I'm going away forever. I'm going to use this space again, so. And maybe I will continue thinking about the mermaid. I should take a photo of this now that it's done for sure. And I do kind of want to get it at an angle so that we get the shiny. There we go. I'm probably gonna find somebody to raid and head out, and then I can go, eat lunch and sit and stare at a wall for a little bit because that's my favorite activity after I finish streaming. Hi, Jezzy. Yeah, we're still chatting a little bit. So hi, bye, but you got a little time. Oh, Matto is still live. We're gonna go bother Matto, 100%. Because I saw Matto starting as I was setting stuff up, and I was like, I'm gonna miss Matto. Yeah, exactly, Wiggle. I find streaming, like, I enjoy streaming, just to be clear, before we go on this little tangent. But I do find it really overwhelming a lot of times. Because, so I'm doing art for the most part. We've mostly been chatting today, honestly. But doing art is already making a lot of decisions. And then I'm also splitting my attention between, like, 3 different chat conversations, generally speaking, which is a lot for me. So, like, I enjoy doing this, and I find it a good way to, like, be social in a way that also allows me to establish really clear boundaries in a way that doesn't make me feel guilty. But yeah, it is a lot. So I sometimes need to just, like, shut my brain off for a little bit afterwards. And sometimes I don't really get the choice about shutting my brain off. Sometimes my brain decides that on its own. Oh, burrito and curry. Both good. Ooh, excuse me. Okay. What am I doing? Okay, he's been live for a while, so I will find somebody else. Or maybe I'll just end. I don't know. I have a few people live, but nobody that I'm, like, really raring for, Yeah, we might just end so that I don't have to worry about it. I do have a lot of, like, good suggested people in my list. I don't think any of them are live right now, but you guys also have your own lives, so you probably also have people that you would like to spend time with, and that's perfectly valid, Go do whatever makes your day better. It's good to see you all. It's always nice when I have a bunch of chatters, It makes it go faster. I will be back on Christmas Eve. And then that will be our last stream for the year. So I will say that again. When I come back, stream schedule is going to be changing. So I'm going to start streaming on Monday afternoons instead of Tuesday afternoons. And you can keep an eye on my stream schedule because I will update that when I'm back, okay? So, yeah, I'll be here Christmas Eve. We can have some little chatties. And I'm probably going to, well, we can have some chats and we can work on avoiding my panic attack together. How about that? That's going to be the real thing. Okay, I'm going to move to the ending screen because that is what's happening now. Yeah, I'm sure I'll see y'all around because I will still be popping into various places and I will be in Discord trying to avoid the reality of what is happening to me. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. Remember that you're loved because I love you. And if you can't take care of and be kind to yourself for yourself, please do so for me because I think that you're awesome and deserve nice things. And that includes from yourself even on the days when it's hard. So make sure you take extra good care of yourself around the holidays and enjoy all your little treats with no guilt because I said so. It's Katie's orders. You have to have at least one treat a day. And you get bonus points if you have 5 treats in a day. Okay? So you take the time in the cold dark of winter and, get some serotonin because you've earned it. And even if you hadn't earned it, you deserve it. And I will see y'all back here Christmas Eve. Okay? Bye.